Jewish Channel's Week in Review. Greece comes to Israel's aid in stopping an effort to break the blockade of Gaza. July 4th gets a Klezmer treatment. What makes one hummus better than another? And more of the Jewish news that's changing your world right now in this episode of the Week in Review. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. The flotilla is dead. Long live the airtilla? The government of Greece kept the so-called Freedom Flotilla from heading for Gaza last week. It has not given permission to depart to any of the vessels that had been preparing in Greece's harbors, and actually intercepted one ship that attempted to sail from the island of Crete. Greece offered to deliver the aid that the Freedom Flotilla was going to provide by delivering it through Israel or Egypt, but flotilla organizers have refused the offer, despite a reported endorsement of the offer from Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. The position taken by Greece represents a significant diplomatic victory for Israel, a phrase one doesn't hear a lot these days. But where the flotilla seems to be a failure, a plan for what's being called an airtilla has been hatched to have hundreds of pro-Palestinian activists disrupt operations at Israel's Ben Gurion airport through scheduling flights for July 8th. Moving on to a discussion of hooliganism within the Jewish community, the controversy continues to grow in the case of the recent firebombing of an individual in the ultra-Orthodox community, allegedly because he was choosing to pray at a different Orthodox synagogue. At a recent meeting of the local legislature, the victim of the attack asked to introduce a resolution calling on the FBI to investigate the matter, saying that local law enforcement resources weren't sufficient. While the resolution failed, in part because of procedural reasons, one surprising reason for voting no was expressed by Orthodox Jewish legislator Phil Soskin, who said, quote, "Anybody who lives in the village of New Square does so voluntarily. They have their own rules just like the people down in Pennsylvania, the Amish. We respect them, they respect us. This is an internal matter. When violence takes place, it becomes a matter of law enforcement." In other news of Orthodox Jewish controversy, the rabbi who authored a controversial book that has led to arrests over allegations of incitement to violence in Israel revealed more about his thoughts in a radio interview this week. Controversial elements in the book suggest the killing of non-Jewish civilians and children in warfare is permissible under certain circumstances according to Orthodox Jewish law, or halacha. The book is particularly controversial because of its endorsements by leading rabbis in the West Bank. Here's a quote from the book and how it was further clarified in the interview, according to Israeli newspaper Yediot Ahronot. In the book, the rabbi says, "Hurting small children makes sense if it's clear that they'll grow up to harm us, and in such a situation, the injury will be directed at them of all people. If I believe there is an evil king, a tyrant who is involved in many unjustified wars, and I want to win the war, and my way is for his children to be hurt in order to weaken his spirit and have him stop sending his soldiers to war, then it's permissible. But if you've had your fill of Jewish controversy this week, you might still have room left over for hummus, especially in the confines of friendly competition." Meredith Gansman stopped by one contest that sought to declare the best high-end hummus in the restaurant world.
It's the Hummus Olympics, or at least a tasting contest. Hummus has long been a part of the Jewish diet, but now it's increasingly available at higher-end restaurants. To determine the best of the chickpea-based dishes from some of the finest hummus chefs, Open House Gallery's Middle Feast gathered 5 restaurant chefs known for their hummus handiwork. Contest organizer Jonathan Dow explained that hummus has truly crossed over into the mainstream of American cuisine.
Hummus, tabbouleh, baba ganoush, falafel have become total comfort foods for New Yorkers, and I think for most of America is now integrated into the Middle Eastern cuisine, which is great.
And for attendees of the event, hummus cravings were apparent.
I love hummus, and I love making hummus, so I figured I'd come out and try hummus that other people make and see if I came up with any ideas on how to improve my hummus.
One taster even loved hummus enough to make it part of her birthday present.
This is a surprise from my boyfriend, Tucker. So I had no idea, but I really love hummus.
Do we have an obsessed hummus eater over here?
That guy? Yeah, you see all the cups are on that side? That's him.
We're broadening our hummus horizons, which is very important to do.
Ready to impress with their garbanzo gastronomy are 5 restaurant chefs: Pita Joe, 12 Chairs, Toom, Lesage, and Moustache. And they are battling for the title of Best Hummus. Shai Pe'er from the Middle Eastern restaurant Pita Joe is new to the competition and has his game face on.
Oh yeah, we're here to bring the New York City the best hummus in town.
But the restaurant 12 Chairs is an experienced competitor.
We won twice the best hummus in New York City. Yes.
So you're defending your title?
Yes, correct.
But if 12 Chairs is going to win again, it's going to have to do so against some stiff competition. Rodrigue Chepley from Tomb says he'll be swaying voters with the precise balance he applies to his dish.
They will feel all the ingredient inside, not too much tahini, not too much lemon. It's all moderated with how you can feel it. You can feel it when you eat it.
For Lesage, the quality of ingredients and a slow food approach are expected to be the keys to victory.
Everything is made fresh, everything is made from scratch, and everything is made to order at my place.
Rounding out the competition is the restaurant Mustache, whose owner said that what he's looking forward to is the variety in the competition.
Everyone has his own version, and if it's good, it's good.
But it wouldn't be an event featuring something from the Middle East without some discussion of politics. A controversy over hummus was launched in 2008 when Lebanon claimed to be the originator and exclusive producer of hummus. The claim spilled over into contests between Israeli and Arab groups to chase the Guinness World Record for the largest dish of hummus. The contest here at the Middle Feast tried to tie into that controversy, but Mustache's owner said his hummus will have no part of it.
I mean, in people's minds, it's always bringing hummus to politics. And we want to take hummus away from politics. Food has no borders. You don't need to be an Arab or an Israeli to make it.
And while the origins of hummus are said to go back to at least 13th century Egypt, the basics for any good hummus are essentially still the same today. Recipes typically include olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and garlic. Then there are the two main ingredients, which 12 Chairs Roby Maimon says make or break any hummus.
From there, it all depends about quality, tahini, and soft chickpeas makes the best hummus, the perfect hummus.
Chickpeas, organic chickpeas, and tahini, good tahini.
And while the ingredients are relatively standard, its preparation does vary from chef to chef. 12 Chairs' philosophy is that there are no shortcuts when making hummus.
First, our hummus made from Bulgarian chickpeas that dive in fresh mineral water for 12 hours. Then we boil them for 6 hours.
Other restaurants such as Pita Joe won't tell what's in their time-honored hummus recipes. What is that age-old recipe?
Most of it is secret, I can't tell you, but...
Once guests tried the different restaurants' hummus, it was time to place their vote for their favorite hummus with their orange voting ball. They told TJC what went into their decision.
I was looking for a hummus that wasn't very tahini flavored, and something that you could taste the lemon. And so I think those two that kind of fulfilled those elements are Lesage and Mustache.
It's good. It's not too smooth, but I taste a bit more salt than the other ones.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I do.
Others preferred Pita Joe's added ingredients.
I don't know. I like the extra chickpeas in there, I think, maybe. Yeah.
And after tasting all the hummus, all that's left is to place my vote. And when all the votes are tallied, 12 Chairs takes home the title of Best Hummus in New York for the third year in a row. But with plenty of delicious hummus to taste, everyone's a winner today. Coming to you from the Middle Feast in a very tasty competition for the Jewish Channel, I'm Meredith Gansman.
Thank you, Meredith. This past weekend was July 4th. And while many Jews have special statements to make about how the United States has served as a home for the Jewish people, they've rarely expressed those sentiments with Klezmer music. Christian Needon reports.
This year's spectacular 4th of July fireworks display over the Hudson River was accompanied by a Jennifer Hudson-sung national anthem. But a day earlier, and a stone's throw from the river, City Winery was hosting its weekly Sunday Klezmer brunch with a pre-Independence Day theme that was embraced by the week's band with a Jewish twist.
Happy July 3rd, everyone. You know what today is? Today is the anniversary of the last day before our independence.
which it's also Rosh Chodesh Tammuz.
It's also Rosh Chodesh Tammuz.
Bands like this have been playing Sunday brunch crowds at City Winery since it opened in January 2009, and owner Michael Dorff decided to reserve a weekly slot for Klezmer acts. But it's up to Shlomo Lipitz to book those acts from the relatively small New York City Klezmer scene.
I source from about 15 to 20 different local bands. Obviously, if there's anyone who hears that this is going on and they have some kind of tour, they're coming to New York, they write to me and ask to play. But for the most part, it's 15 to 20 bands. And it's very similar to the jazz scene where you have a couple of band leaders, and then if that specific group can't make it that Sunday, they put together a different group and they play with different bands. So sometimes you have someone like Yves Secular who plays with Isles of Klezmer, but also plays with other bands as well. So from those 15 bands, I mean, that's enough to fill so far about 3 years of programming.
Peter Sokolow has played with countless bands in all sorts of klezmer programs since 1956. Today he was playing piano for an all-star band led by clarinetist Michael Winograd. Yet Sokolow recalled the days when he learned his craft as a young man, playing with some much older klezmer greats, sometimes even on the 4th of July.
I started out as 18 years old playing with guys who were already in their late 40s, early 50s, and I played with Dave Tarrison. He was like 70 or past. So I played with them. I played with Dixieland bands. I played with bebop jazz groups and regular what we call club date, standard commercial society bands. I played for Lester Lannon and people like that. So I've done lots and lots of 4th of July type things. If the thing called for klezmer, I did it.
To see more from City Winery's Sunday Klezmer Brunch and to hear where these musicians think the klezmer genre is heading, please tune into the full broadcast edition of the Week in Review.
Thank you, Christian. One final note, the Jewish Channel is happy to announce our availability to the communities of Central Florida on Bright House Network's Channel 330. We're pleased to be serving these communities and hope to see you on Channel 330 for many years to come. Stay tuned to TJC in the coming weeks for more exciting announcements about our availability. That's all for this week. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable. IO Optimum Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, RCN Channel 268, Verizon Fios Channel 900, Cox Cable Channel 1, and new this month, Bright House Channel 330. For more information, visit tjctv.com.